Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Martyrs Lane. And this is a new film coming your way from Shudder, and focuses on a young girl named Leah, who's 10 years old, who lives in a large vicarage full of lost souls and the needy. And she's kind of forgotten among her bullying sister, her mother, played by Denise, who's going through a lot. She's very traumatized. She has trouble sleeping at night. She has horrible nightmares. And Leah, played by Kiera Thompson, this cute little girl, just feels lost among everybody here. But she gets this visitor at night. Rachel, played by Sienna, who's her guardian angel. She's a little girl in a little dress with fake little wings, except maybe she's growing some actual wings because this is a little girl. And there's a lot of mystery to what this presence, this young girl's intentions are showing up here at night, and her budding relationship with Leah, which all seems nice and cute at the start, but then gets really aggressive and scary at times. And over the course of this film, director and writer Ruth Platt is able to hit on a lot of relatable emotional beats with this young girl dealing with this trauma in her life, her relationship with her mother, and the bullying of her older sister. These are things as an audience we can relate to. I know at least I can, especially with some of the things that went on in terms of this family dynamic in this film. Obviously, I have never been visited by a small little girl telling me they're my guardian angel, but you have that emotional connection, those very relatable thematic ideas of loss and processing of grief, and what her mother's going through and still trying to hold together a relationship as a mother and a daughter. And Platt's able to create this tender yet unnerving kind of atmosphere about the film. It's very raw, it's very textured in the way that it's shot. This isn't like a crisp, clean looking film. You can feel the emotion, you can feel the rawness and the emotion going on in the film, and how it's shot really captures that. There's very visceral scenes, very, like, the particular ones that get annoying is they use a lot of auditory jump scares, and they're ridiculously loud compared to everything else in the film, and they're really obnoxious and feel really cheap. And I'm like, oh, come on, why does that need to be in this film? This has a lot going for it. It doesn't need those cheap thrills and cheap tricks to try to get the different kinds of emotions that the film's trying to evoke. There's enough atmosphere here to build that tension, that suspense, those thrills, that terror going on here. And the strong performances from Thompson and Sayer really bolstered this film for these two young actresses. And also Gough's performance is very strong as well. And you have Hannah Ray, who plays the older sister, who definitely has her own things that she's trying to process through. And as this film goes on, it's not particularly deep in terms of the story beats that it goes, but the themes are rich and the emotions are there. This isn't particularly complicated or shocking or surprising, or might not always even feel the freshest of films, but it definitely has that kind of gothic, eerie kind of fable that Guillermo del Toro did so well in his Spanish language films like Pan's Labyrinth and The Devil's Backbone. You feel that same kind of energy here. I wouldn't say this film's as good as those films, but there's a lot going for it, and I really appreciate the work that Platt brings in terms of writing and directing this, and what Thompson and Sayer do in terms of acting out, especially for two young girls who are carrying this film a lot. And they do a really fantastic job. And in the end, I think that this film is definitely worth checking out. It has the emotion, it has the human connection, but it also has those scares, those unnerving and terrifying moments of the uncertainty on exactly what's happening here. And, you probably know what's really going on with this little girl. But you won't be 100% sure unless you go check this out on Shudder. But those are my thoughts on Martyrs Lane. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.